Mia Goth is so unhinged in this movie. Let's do it. Pearl is the second movie in this franchise, and it is a prequel to the first movie X, and it follows Pearl as a young girl in 1918 living on her parents' farm. We learn that Pearl's husband Howard is away fighting in the World War. Pearl's father is paralyzed, so she and her mother have to take care of him. And Pearl's mother, Ruth, is just a total bitch. She is awful. They are living in the time of the Spanish flu pandemic, so Pearl's mom makes her isolate herself on this farm. But Pearl's got bigger dreams. She wants to be a star. And we very quickly learn that Pearl is not like other girls, because she has this rage within her that progressively gets worse. We see Pearl kill farm animals to feed them to the alligator in the lake. Pearl also abuses her father because he can't move or tell her mother about it, and she also almost feeds him to the alligator one day and only stops because her mother interrupts. Now, Pearl's mother sends her into town frequently to get supplies, but what her mother doesn't know is that when she's in town, Pearl often goes to the movie theater to watch the latest movies. And one day when she's there, she meets the projectionist, and the two of them kind of hit it off. So this goes on for a little bit, and we just see Pearl getting more and more strange. Like, one day she has sex with this scarecrow in the middle of a field, and Pearl's mother starts to notice that she's not coming home with the right amount of change that she should be coming home with after buying supplies. Pearl lies because she doesn't want her mom knowing that she's going to the movies, and her mom literally, doesn't let her eat one night because of it. So throughout this, we learn that Pearl has this sister-in-law named Mitzi, and she tells Pearl one day about this audition that's coming up for this troupe of dancers. And this is Pearl's dream. She's going to be a star, so she's ecstatic. So Pearl prepares for the audition, and as she's doing this, she continues to go into town and go to the movie theater. And one day the projectionist is like, I have something to show you that nobody has seen yet, and he turns on a porno. He's also the only one that supports Pearl. She tells him about the audition, and he encourages her to follow her dreams. That night at dinner, Pearl decides to tell her mother about the audition and how she's going to take part in it, and her mother flips the fuck out and is like, yeah, absolutely not. The two of them get into an argument, and at one point, Pearl's mother looks at her and is like, every time I look at you, I'm reminded that I failed. I fucking hate being your mother, pretty much. Her mother slaps her, which leads to a physical altercation, and Ruth is accidentally set on fire in the fireplace. And Pearl puts out the flames by pouring boiling water on her mother. He then drags her barely alive, badly burned mother to the basement and locks her in there. She leaves her father and is like, sorry, gotta go, and she goes into town to go to the movie theater. He meets up with the projectionist, and she proceeds to do what she did with the scarecrow, but at least it's with a human this time. They wake up the next morning, and it's the day of Pearl's audition, so the projectionist drives her home. When they get there, he starts getting really weirded out by her behavior. He sees the mess in the kitchen from the fight the night before. Pearl just starts being really abrasive towards him, so he tries to leave. As he's trying to leave, she's like, I ain't do anything wrong. Why are you leaving? I thought you liked me. She proceeds to stab him to death with a pitchfork as he's trying to drive away. She pushes the car in the lake and feeds his remains to the alligator. So Pearl then goes inside and she gets ready for her audition like nothing happened. Pearl says goodbye to her father and proceeds to smother him to death before leaving for her audition. Pearl gets to the audition. Mitzi and a bunch of other girls are there as well. Pearl goes in and she puts on the performance of a lifetime. And they're like, yeah, no, we're good. We want someone younger and blonde. So Pearl has a breakdown and starts screaming, I'm a star, please. Eventually, Mitzi tries to console her and takes her home. At this point, Mitzi knows that Pearl's not in a good place and she tries to help her out. And she's like, why don't you sit down and talk to me as if I was your husband, Howard, and tell me how you feel. Mitzi is not prepared for what comes next, because Pearl starts going on about her resentment towards Howard for leaving her, and she admits to having an affair with the projectionist and then killing him and then also killing her parents. So Mitzi's like, okay, I gotta go now. And Pearl is like, I know you gotta go because you won the audition. I know you did. And eventually Mitzi has no choice but to admit, yes, I did. I got the part. So Mitzi walks out of the house and Pearl follows, grabs an axe, and starts chasing her. Eventually, Pearl catches up and kills Mitzi with an axe and then proceeds to dismember her body and feed her to the alligator. Pearl then goes to the basement and lies down with her now very dead mother. Pearl then decides she wants to make this a proper home, so she takes the corpses of her parents and sits them at the dinner table. The table that is covered with rotting food covered in maggots. It's at this moment that Pearl's husband, Howard, comes home from the war and surprises her. And obviously he is absolutely horrified to find what he does. And Pearl simply tells him, "I'm so happy you're home," and stares into his soul with this insane looking smile, and the movie ends.